At 3:54 a.m. this morning, our Central Dispatch received a call from a county citizen in regards to a body laying in the roadway of Campground Road. The person described the body and said he pretty well suspected that the person was dead, and deputies responded and did find a dead body laying in the road on Campground Road. Initial investigation was done by the detectives, indicating that there was gunshot wounds to the victim. The scene was processed, and later on, some of the agencies that helped us was the Washington County Fire and Rescue, Goodson Kinderhook Fire Department, Virginia State Police Trooper Nixon and his canine. That was at the scene. The body that was found there on Campground Road will be transported to the Virginia Medical Examiner's office. Detectives have been working continuously all day on this case. We've developed some great leads, done a whole lot of investigative work, and also done a lot of interviews concerning the case. Due to that, we have made great progress in the case, and we have obtained warrants on an Angelo Aviles, age 27, a Hispanic male, of Jacks Drive of Johnson City, Tennessee. Mr. Aviles is originally from New Jersey with a violent criminal history, indicating a lot of armed robberies and things like that. Mr. Aviles, he is being charged with first-degree murder of Anthony James A.J. Pickle of Bristol, Virginia. He's also being charged with use of a firearm and commission of a felony and possession of a firearm after being a convicted felon. Currently, Mr. Aviles is being detained by the Bristol, Tennessee Police Department in the suspicion of the murder here in Washington County, Virginia. The Washington County Commonwealth Attorney, Josh Cumbo, has agreed to extradite Mr. Aviles back into Washington County, Virginia from Tennessee. Any questions?
Sheriff, was Aviles being held in Bristol, Tennessee on any previous charges, or was he found in Bristol, Tennessee and taken into custody?
He was found in Bristol, Tennessee this evening and taken into custody.
What time was he found in Bristol, Tennessee?
It was around 5:45 this evening.
And where was he found again?
I think it was at his apartment in Bristol, Tennessee.
I thought he had an apartment.
Or at an apartment in Bristol, Tennessee.
Okay. The victim is from Bristol, Virginia, or Bristol, Tennessee?
Bristol, Virginia. He is from
The release says Bristol, Tennessee.
Emmett Road, Bristol, Tennessee.
Okay. So it's Bristol, Tennessee?
Yeah,
Okay.
501 Emmett Road, Bristol, Tennessee.
Where was the apartment that the suspect was found at?
I don't have that information.
But it was at an apartment in Bristol, Tennessee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sheriff, is there anything that you found in the preliminary investigation that leads you to think this might have been related to something? Was it payback? Was it drug related? Have you gotten anything on that as of yet?
We're still interviewing people that were involved in it or was at the scene. Right now, we can't disclose any of that information.
Has there been a cause of death determined yet?
A what?
A cause of death at all?
Multiple gunshot wounds.
And how long will the extradition, how long will it take for him to be extradited back to Virginia or to Virginia?
That pretty well is determined by Mr. Aviles. If he cooperates, he could be back in a few days. If not, then we will have to go through obtaining governor's warrants for extradition.
What goes into that? What goes into extraditing someone from as close as Tennessee?
Go ahead.
Well, that's a good question. We would have to seek a governor's warrant, where the governor of Virginia would have to contact the governor of Tennessee, and even though it's just across State Street, it's a fairly complex process if the defendant fights it, which he certainly has the right to do. If he waives extradition, Washington County, Virginia would have up to 10 days to go and get him.
Has there been any indication that he will waive his extradition?
Probably a little early in the process to really determine that. He would have the opportunity to speak with an attorney in Tennessee before he decides whether to waive or not waive extradition.
Sheriff, when you said that other individuals were interviewed, were there other witnesses to this shooting, or were you just interviewing relationships?
There is some other individuals that were there at the scene.
How many people were present at the scene?
There was 4 people there.
How many people found the body?
There was one person coming through around 4 o'clock, 3:50 this morning. Saw the body laying out in the middle of the road, and went on to a safe area there near Bobby's Market and called the authorities.
When you say 4 people at the scene, the shooter and the victim, 2 of those 4?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us where the victim was hit? Where the shotgun wounds were on his body?
It appeared to be a pistol. There was wounds to the back, to the chest, and to the head area.
Was it like he was shot from behind?
It appeared that there could have been some gunshot wounds from behind, and then there was some ones to the front.
You mentioned Aviles had a violent history. Armed robbery was one of those. Is that the biggest in his past, or
I think he's three time.
Armed robbery?
Yeah, and it was a very heinous, very intentional crime that occurred.
He was convicted of 3 armed robberies.
Yes.
And all in New Jersey, by the way.
All in New Jersey.
Yes.
What time was the shooting take place again?
About 3. I think it was like 3, somewhere around 3:30 a.m. this morning.
heinous and intentional?
Heinous and intentional. He was shot in the back, and then once he was down, they went to the front.
So the body is being sent to the coroner's office in Roanoke?
Yes.
Medical exam. And where is the suspect being held?
He is being detained currently by Bristol, Tennessee, and I would guess he will be transported to the Sullivan County jail for booking.
Had you gotten any background on Pickle?
Mr. Pickle doesn't have a background that we can gather other than a few traffic citations. And I would like to thank the surrounding jurisdictions, the U.S. Marshal Service, Bristol, Tennessee, Bristol, Virginia, and fire departments, and everyone who has assisted in this. It's been a great case as far as agencies working together, and it's a great outcome for justice, even though it's a very tragic event.
Was it a Tennessee officer who caught him, or did a marshal get him?
The Bristol, Tennessee, were watching him.
Did anyone receive or send in any security footage that you asked for earlier?
We have got footage from local stores currently.
So he was caught by Bristol, Tennessee Police Department?
Yes. All right. Well, thank you all.
All right, thank you.